Troy Stetcher?
Troy's doing well.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he looked like he might have gotten a little dinged up on that high stick at the end of the first period?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think he'll be fine.
Okay.
Was that a coach's decision for him to sit the rest of the way, or was it injury related?
It was a coach's decision.
Okay. With your goaltending, you kind of got a nice little setup here with Pickard and Skinner. Are you set to name a starter for Game 5? Or?
No, I'm not going to name one yet.
Okay, but how nice is this situation that obviously Skinner, it wasn't really his fault in the first period, great first period by him, and then Pickard, the work that he's been able to do for you guys throughout.
Yeah, both goalies have been really good and key to for us to getting here. Stu, since Pick's injury, came in, played some really good games, the Vegas series, Dallas series, obviously. And, anytime that we haven't been strong in front of them, it's unfortunate. Like last night in the first period, we weren't at our best and, puts the goalie in a vulnerable position. And, as a coach, we make that switch and Picks comes in and makes some huge saves. So, it's nice that we've got a nice tandem that they're going back and forth, and each one of them have been really, really solid for us.
Kris, how difficult was that decision during the intermission? Because we know how proud Stuart Skinner is, and he was really good in that opening 20. How difficult was that?
It's a difficult decision. You ultimately you're saying that you're putting the blame on one guy, and that's not fair. That's not, because no one else is getting pulled from the game, and but we felt that we needed to change something, and obviously it worked last night, but obviously it doesn't always. We need to just play better in front of whoever is in net. In second, third, and overtime, we did play much better than we did in the first.
When it comes to execution in that second period, sorry, Bob, where did you see the tactical differences from your team in terms of executing the game plan that allowed you guys to start opening it up?
I think we just played with a little more passion, urgency. I think urgency is a very important word there. Just winning those battles. In the first period, we didn't have the battle, or didn't win those battles. We didn't have the puck. We're in defending, and we're just pretty much surviving each shift. As the game went on, the second period, we were able to get a little bit of life. That power play goal definitely huge catalyst, gave us a lot of life on the bench, a little bit of excitement, and we played with a little more that urgency. And going forward, we're going to need that.
You put Jeff Skinner in on a line with Adam Henrique and Trent Frederick. They scored an even strength goal. They had two chances to probably score, including the winner in OT. Just to assess their third line so good. What did you think of your third line last night?
That line has played 2 games for us. One Game 5 at Dallas, and then last night, and I've been very impressed with it. They've been carrying more of the play. I thought Jeff Skinner had a lot of good scoring opportunities. He had a breakaway. He had a big part of the even strength goal earlier in the game. They almost scored the overtime winning goal. I was very happy with those 3.
How do you help manage the team's emotions in a series like this, and even for yourself? How do you guys remain even-keeled throughout it?
Well, a couple of things. I think one, we're an older team. There's been a lot of highs and lows that they've experienced. And another one is, I think, just the maturity of the team. They know what's at stake, and we've had ups and downs throughout the season, especially in the playoffs. Heartbreaking losses, unbelievable wins, overtime. So we've been able to just park those and get ready for the next game, because I don't believe that momentum goes from game to game. It's important that we're enjoy that win, obviously, but we have to get prepared, because there's such a quick turnaround that we're ready for our next game.
After Game 3, a lot was said about discipline. Guys are being undisciplined in the first period, allowed two goals on the power play. So that was 5 in 4 periods. Do you think that they finally got it that time?
Well, we just got to control our sticks. It's the amount of high-sticking penalties that we've had. I think that's a big part of it, and we can control our sticks, and then we're not in the box as much as we are. we would like to never take a penalty. We don't want to put them on the power play. We feel that we're better when we can get everybody involved and not having those long stretches of killing penalties, because then we pretty much ice certain guys if they're not out there regularly. Going forward, taking 3 or 4 penalties in the first period, very rarely are we going to be able to survive that and win. Last night was fortunate that we were able to survive that, but something that we can't do again.
The guy said that it could be, if you turn this into a best of 3, 2 games at home, you got to feel good about that. How good do you feel about the situation now where the series is 3 games with 2 of them potentially?
It's nice being back in Edmonton. The support of the city, the home crowd, but I think both teams play so well on the road that I think whether it's a must-win for either team, I don't think. I think both teams would feel comfortable going on the road. But we're down to a best of 3, and the fact that we were trailing the series going in, and the fact that we were able to tie it up, we feel pretty good about that. Especially the way we've been able to win our 2 games. Some unbelievable come from behinds. Very difficult 3-0. The way the first period went for our guys to stick it out and come back and get the victory. That's very few teams can do that.
Kris, some people are saying that this is the best final ever so far through 4 games, especially with 3 overtimes. What are you seeing as a head coach, somebody who maybe appreciates the games more than?
Well, I can see that from a fan standpoint. It's some really good hockey. These 2 teams have been battling out, and each team has had their time where they're pushing the play. We're getting all, and the best players from both teams are coming up with at key times. No more than Leon Draisaitl in the overtime last night. I would like a little less stress for myself behind the bench, and maybe I could enjoy it a little more. But I can definitely see it's really good, exciting hockey.
Speaking of a stressful moment, what was going through your mind on that opportunity they had in overtime, and Calvin Pickard got it with his glove and then it hit the crossbar, and just that whole sequence?
That Calvin had it under control, that he would make that save.
One more on Stetcher, sorry. Is he available for Game 5?
I have not checked with our doctors, but I have no report.